Come on. Get me. What the hell? Are we streaming? Indeed we are. Okay, and welcome. Wait, hold on. Okay, and welcome everybody to XLR. This is Tier 2, Round 8, here at Albert Park in Australia. The Australian Grand Prix, the first Australian Grand Prix held in 1928. Many years ago, indeed. But today, in this modern Albert Park configuration, we have got 3.28 miles of racing across these 16 wonderful corners. Of course, we've got a slightly revamped Albert Park compared to other games. And hold on, and there's the audio. Compared to other, Formula 1 games and previous Formula 1 years, this new and revamped Albert Park circuit is certainly much better, much more conducive to some fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing that we expect to see here in Tier 2. Of course, this is our second tier, slightly slower tier, but what you can count on is some great action. I know certainly in plenty of other leagues the first tier is very fast, let's put it that way, but you don't quite get the chaos and unpredictability that you have in a tier like your second one. So let's get ready to rumble then for qualifying one. We were supposed to have a full grid for us today, but I think some people have seemed to have forgotten what time we start, and well, they are not here. So we might see some guys joining throughout qualifying. We might see some new guys join us at the start of the race. But let's wait and see to what that happens. I'm Solid Elite, and I'll be taking you through today's race. Unfortunately, the usual Tier 2 commentator, Numikyon, he's been fired. He was caught just being bad, so we had to fire him. It was an unfortunate affair for him, but things happen, and until we find a replacement for him, we will be back here. And if you just bear with me 1 second, we can before we go through some of these slightly more tedious laps here in Q1, I can read you what's going on in the standings at the moment. Of course, this is not the tier that I usually experiment with, as Saturdays I'm usually busy, but at the moment I am nice and quiet on a Saturday. So let me find these standings. We've got a few drivers on flying laps at the moment. I think Haas is going to be the first one to actually cross the line to set a representative lap time. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. No one round though, just for a driver going slightly slowly. We'll just keep on board with Haas as he does make his way to the line. As I scroll through, try to find these bloody standings, and voila. Indeed, and there goes Hards with a 1:18.9. The car behind him is a Williams of Blitz, or Aparo, as we know him here. He had to be awkward and change his name, of course. Right then, we've got AY Games coming to the line next. He sets a 19.6. Not the greatest effort from him. Let's be fair there. Havoc Gamer, 30.7. That is certainly around the times that I expect from Ferrari at the start of this year. We then had Toxin and Jay-Z setting in the 20s. Then Jammy Dodge, his home Grand Prix, putting in an 18.7. A really nice time as Jammy Cash does go that bit faster. Luke the Blade next across the line in P4. Then we take a look to the Aston Martin of Unitos, if we can scroll quick enough. Yes, we can. Who goes even faster, 4/10 than Jammy Cash. His teammate just coming across the line now. Footface, desperate for a Fredo. He will be going yet again. Who else did we just have cross the line? Somebody. Mr. Business, MT, indeed he was an 18.3 for him, just a 10th behind Unitos then. So we look to Aparo on a flyer, Footface on a flyer, and Max on a flyer, or Makes. I've horribly butchered that name, I do apologise. Also on a flying lap. And then we heard somebody back off their lap and is going right now. Yes, that is Havoc, who unfortunately invalidated this attempt, so it will not be setting a time. We did then see a power move up into P7 and outside of that drop zone. It's pretty much down to Footface and Marks. My goodness, I'm going to mispronounce it all evening, let's put it that way, as I've got to plug my controller in, otherwise it's going to blow up. And oh, there, Max going wide at the high-speed chicane. That can catch a lot of people out, and a bit wide there for Footface, coming through the last little section of the racing circuit, really getting loose on the rear end, pushing that Aston Martin to its absolute limit now as he activates the DRS, comes to the line. Footface P8, a relatively good effort for Footface. I'm quivering in my boots as I do not want to give him a Fredo. That's the simple thing. Right, let's see anyone else actually on a flyer then. Nope, we've got VC Ryan and Frosted Cheese there on out laps then. Wait, did Jamie Dodge do that lap on a... He can't have done that on a set of hards. If he did, get him out of this race, because otherwise he's going to storm the field. And, well, I think he's certainly been putting in plenty of practice. If you hear any like echo or weird stuff, that's just me getting into the nooks and crannies of my desk, putting in, oh my goodness, putting in my controller to charge. Right. Let's try and get myself some space here before we get on to the important stuff. Again, Q1, really boring. Q2, really boring. Q3, slightly less boring. Race, very, very exciting. So, you know, you have to bear with us a little bit. It'll, if you watch qualifying, then please get a life. No, please do stay and watch, but I probably wouldn't watch qualifying. If I'm being honest, it's a rather tedious affair. You know, this rating's where it's at, really. VC Ryan then invalidating his lap time somewhere along that middle sector point. In fact, it looks like it was around turn 9. Relevantly named Clark. So there are a few corners here that are actually do have names. I didn't actually know that until I checked like 10 minutes ago. So turn 1 has Brabham, named after Jack Brabham, who of course is a 3-time world champion, I want to say. Then there's turn 2 after Alan Jones, who is a world champion with Ferrari. Then turn 5 for Whiteford. I didn't research, but I'm sure he's got a huge amount of significance. Almost into the wall there for Frosted Cheese, very close to the barriers indeed. I'm sure he's got some sort of significance perhaps to Australian racing. I'm sure if any Aussies could fill us in there, that would be quite wonderful. Then we've got turn 9, Clark, after Jim Clark. Very, very fast Formula 1 driver. Then turn 13, the 90-degree right-hander, named Ascari. The second Ascari corner of Formula 1. Of course, the other one at Monza at that chicane. Then we've got turn 14 for Stewart, turn 15 for Prost. And those are all of the named corners, interestingly enough. But then we take with Frosted Cheese, who is currently passing through turn 10 at the moment then. He's got this long, sweeping left-hander to come before he hits that timing point, and he's 3.6 seconds down on his time. That's going to probably put... Oh, no, he's wide. He's wide through turns 11 and 12. That's going to cost him a significant amount of time. And look at what is going on in front of them with the Ferraris. I'm not sure what is going on there, but they seem to be trying to get out of each other's way. But I know in Frosted Cheese's mind, even if he is getting a little bit blocked here... Oh, there's a collision! There's a collision on the circuit from the Tier 2 drivers. Just trying to figure out what Ferrari that was. It was Falcon. Falcon, who was setting up for his lap, and Frosted Cheese, who was finishing his lap. Falcon will get a penalty for that one. Simply because he was blocking. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily matter, you know, if you're about to start a lap. You got in the way of the driver that was finishing one of his. and that collision, even if the driver should have turned away, is 100% on you every single time, because you should have been out of the way. That's unfortunate though, for those two, but I'm sure we'll see them adjust, reconfigure themselves, recompose their minds, and get ready to go out yet again. We'll have it game up, did put in a better lap time. Now he's on a 19.4 on a set of soft compound tyres that he previously used. So let's look at who else is improving across the circuit. Luke the Blade invalidated that last lap then. Nidus is half a tenth down, and I'm assuming he just finished a lap. Havoc Gamer just finished a lap, as we know. Paro is currently on a lap and 0.3 of a second up at the moment. That's going to put him on a low 19. That should see him probably maybe above Luke the Blade. Let's just see how much more time he can gain. There's a rather substantial gap between Luke the Blade and Hards, who of course is yet to set a second lap time. He's only qualifying one, so you just have to get out of the bottom 5, or in this case the bottom 2. And Paro goes to the line and does not. He actually loses a little bit of his time that he had gained and drops just behind Luke the Blade in P8. So yeah, of course we had Havoc. AY has not quite found where his ERS button is. Makes also on a bit of an outlap then. Sweatback Flame also on an outlap and getting ready to rumble here. Let's see what sort of time he can put on the board. Yeah, everyone kind of dawdling a little bit. Nobody really actually on a flipping flying lap at the moment, apart from Sweatback Flame. So let's go with the Alfa Romeo driver. In fact, let's jump on board with him and let us take him through this lap of Alville Park as he comes through turn 3, sweeping left into turn 4, struggling for grip on the apex of the corner. In fact, he missed it very slightly, almost on the grass on that right-hander of turn 5, desperate to find grip and traction as he comes through the chicane of 6 and 7. Alex Albon had a bit of a skill issue here in the Grand Prix last year, after doing so well in the qualifying stages. He's now through this flat out section before he makes it to the high speed turn 11 and turn 12, down into only 7th gear, struggling for rotation in the car. If I'm Sweatback there, I'm going down into 6th before he's hard on the brakes for Ascari. I think he might have backed off a little bit here. He's not quite full push mode as he now makes his way through the 3rd and final sector on the circuit, through turn 15, through now into the right hander of turn 16, onto that pit straight. Let's see what Sweatback Flame can do. It's good enough for P6, a 34.8 second improvement. So Jamie Dodge knows he's done enough to get through. Footface has invalidated his lap, unfortunately. We're about to see the Haas of Makes come across the line to hopefully improve and get himself outside of the danger zone that he currently sits in. Indeed he does, but only up into P12. So currently Frosted Cheese and VC Ryan sit in that drop zone with about 5 minutes to go. Jamie Cash retiring from the session as well, believing he has done enough. We will we can see if we can get that sorted for you, Rocky. You'll just have to bear with us one moment whilst we finish the end of Q1. Right, where else are we? Oh goodness, I'm incredibly tired. Right, where are we? So, where are we? Where are you? Right, so here we go. Frosted Cheese then comes around that final corner off turn 16 at the moment, then activates the DRS and powers down that pit straight. Let's see where he can pit this car. P8 only for Frosted Cheese, but that should see him quite comfortably through into qualifying 2. We then turn to VC Ryan, also in the drop zone at the moment. Looks like it could be Falcon and AY pushed into the final 2 that will be dropping out of this qualification session. But here we go for VC Ryan in the Mercedes. He comes to the line. He goes up to P7, and indeed he does push AY and Falcon into that drop zone with we've got Falcon on a flying lap at the moment. We've got AY just about to start one. Havoc Gamer and Makes are also at risk. Nidus could potentially be at risk as well. It might be. He might be. we will not be too sure. Potential risk for Footface as well. He could be perhaps in the mixer. But we're sort of the last guy I'd kind of expect. Maybe we could see a Paro, but I think we'll have to wait and see on that one, just to see how they do, how everyone else does qualify through the rest of this session. But here we go, Falcon, only a 10th improvement. It's a 20.1, half a second away from AY. It looks like it's going to be a Q1 elimination for Falcon. Where else have we got? So it's not going to be long before I think we see these two in P14, P15 also coming out on the circuit. Nidus is in. Well, he's not improving. He's 9 seconds down on his. Well, I think that's a slight error. He's not 9 seconds down. Footface 1.2 seconds down. He's going to go for one final attempt right at the end. AY has invalidated. Yeah, he's also going for that attempt at the end. I think it was not only the wrong choice for Falcon to put that lap in early, because the track's not going to quite be at its best, but yeah, he just doesn't seem to quite have the speed today. VC Ryan retiring from the session, thinking he's done enough, and there we go, someone has got Rocky that invite that he needs. And here we go then, AY about to start, will probably be his final flying lap of the yeah, it will be his final flying lap of the session, unless he puts in an early invalidation. Oh, AY's in the wall hard, he is out, he will be out of qualifying now. He was into the wall very, very hard on the exit of turn 2. Just couldn't quite collect the car from the oversteer moment that he had going through the corner. And that's AY's qualification over. He's not going to get back into the pits and that damage repaired. So that only puts Havoc Gamer and Falcon. Falcon is the one currently being eliminated with only 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. He might make it back to the line, but he's not going to have the energy to set a good lap. You know, let's put it that way. So I think Havoc and Makes should be pretty safe here in Q1, but of course Makes is going to put in that lap just to be certain. Footface 3/10 down, but he'll be safe. I will make it into the second part of qualifying, where it gets a little bit more intense. But yeah, Footface not improving all that much. And if this was indeed Q2, he would indeed be eliminated, but it's not. So there is no elimination threat for him. And yeah, AY, he makes it to the line. He's going to go for it. There is still a threat for Havoc, but he's going to really go for it. He's going to go for the lap with the wheel. Oh no, he's all over the grass on the entry of turn 2. He's just got no grip. The difference that makes in the balance and the handling of the car as well just really negatively affects everything, including the braking, the turning, the accelerate. Everything is just skewed. And that's Falcon confirming his elimination. And yeah, that's out. That's out for AY. So Havoc and Makes are indeed safe. And we say goodbye to AY, Falcon and Rocky in this session. We just take a look and check that no one's told me off for saying anything. Right, where's the at? I think it's just literally for that stream. Yeah, it is. Well, bring on Q2 is all I can say. I'm going to get some water because my throat is... I need to clear it up. Face Friday today is not happening. You know, please no. The 1 Tier 2 race. Hey, you want to be called AY Games? Okay. Okay, right. Let's find some water in this blasted house because I am thirsty and my throat needs a clearing. And the good old liquids will sort that one out. Yeah, it was unfortunate really with the damage. There was nothing you could really do there. This water is probably like a day old. Right. Ooh, let's take the seat back. And Who's still out there making us wait all this time? So let's get qualifying over. I'm already half asleep. Let's get it over with. So I think Falcon believed. Oh no, I'm completely wrong on that one. Well, let's bring on Q2 then. We're about Flame topping the end of Q1 with Unisos, Mr. Business team making up the top 3, and unfortunately eliminated were Falcon and AY Games, with Rocky also being eliminated after joining us perfectly on time. Well, you never know. We saw a pretty chaotic Australian Grand Prix this year in Formula One, so don't put it past, something happening. Oh my goodness, I think I've just seen the biggest poo that I've ever witnessed in my life. Oh my gosh, that is awful. 4 red flags. Please no. I'd like to cook my tea. I've been cooking at work all day, and the last thing I need to do is cook late tonight. So let's hurry this up, please, guys. No safety cars, no red flags, no VSCs. Oh, get the throat all lubricated up with water. Actually, that was really weird. No one heard me say that. So. Well, there's a bit of a file of cars out there on the circuit at the moment then. Well, Marx is going to get out the way of everybody. Then. Is Jammy actually on hards, or is he just glitched? Is he just, I think he's just upside down in general. For the race, he's just going to try and do a one-stopper on soft to medium instead of using hards. We'll have to wait and see. Why is he actually on hards? I'm very confused. Why is he on hards? He's burnt up. How many sets of hards does he have? That's what I'm more interested in. How many sets he's got? Because that's a completely fresh set. Oh dear, Mousy. What will we do with them? What will we do? Well, Haas has sprinted away from literally everybody else. Just for reference, if we jump back to well. Now Max has started, making that run. Gianlucci, lovely to see you in the chat. I'm doing absolutely wonderfully. I'm just waiting for someone to crash. It's not going to hurt them apart from their egos, unless they've got a fan attack. Then I hope your wrists are okay. Well, here we go with Hardsland for the first flying lap of Q2. Makes the apex a turn one nicely, cuts across on the inside a little bit through the second part of the corner, but we didn't see that, nothing happened there. Didn't get the invalidation, so it currently stands as at the moment. I don't think the stewards will be doing that. As Hards all over the grass here. His car is being placed at all sorts of different angles. It's all good, Gianlucci. It's lovely. It's always good to have a bit of. It's good to have that family time. So no sweat. We got it all covered here in the commentary booth, and well, let's make it a good one. So here we go then for Hards in the middle sector. Of course, he is purple with a 45.6 through the first part of the lap. Then definitely pushing. I feel like Hards is pushing quite significantly. Really? I'd rather watch the Monaco Grand Prix. I'll be honest. Especially if you have to try and make up stuff to talk about. Yeah, that's when you start talking about crocodiles. That doesn't go well. But here we go then for Haas. He's coming to the line now. And that's a 1:19.4 for the McLaren driver. We take a look at Makes Nen, who has unfortunately invalidated his lap and has backed off and will be going again in a moment's time. We've then got Footface behind him. Footface not yet scored this season, and I'm sure he'll be desperate to get the points. I think he's rather craving a Fredder at this point. And he goes to a 19.9 with a Paro moving up with an 18.8. It's a good lap time. We then got Mr. Business with an 18.6. Jamie Cash with a 19.2. It's almost like they're racing into turn one. Jay-Z a 19.4. And Footface has decided he doesn't want to drive anymore. Oh dear. Someone sack this man. Right, where are we looking for the next laps? I think we're seeing Red Bull? Oh, well, there was a Red Bull. Luther Blade with an 18.2, 4 tenths quicker than the next quickest driver. Then we've got Havoc with an 18.8. That puts him up into P4. Much better performance than his Q1. That's a very nice understatement. We've got Sweatback Flame, who's just starting that lap. VC Ryan also just beginning that lap. I think he actually backed off that first flying lap attempt, as he is set at 156. Same thing with Sweatback Flame actually. A 53 and a 56. I'm not quite sure that's Q3. It might sort of be close to the cusp, but you know. Yeah, as I was saying before Hard started to drive, it becomes, when you're trying to commentate over qualifying, sometimes it's like difficult to make up things to say. Like there's only so much you can really talk about, because in qualifying the strategy is go as fast as possible, don't get taken out by mongrels all over the circuit. It's not like a very complicated thing really in the Formula 1 games. So it kind of just is a bit like he goes around the corner, he goes fast, whoa, look at him go. You know, it becomes slightly tedious affair to keep the words coming. Oh, what? Sweatback Flame goes to the top of the timing sheets then with a 17.7. Oh my goodness, half a second quicker than Luke the Blade. That's a lap and a half. I think Mr. Business is going again. Joe's invalidated. Marks is not going again. Footface is indeed going again, but Mr. Business is further ahead, a 10th up on his time at the moment. Ooh, what launch should I be looking forward to the most? Well, of course, I'm looking forward to Mercedes the most. I'm a Mercedes fan, and very loose for Mr. Business coming through turn 12. Very much on the limit of that AlphaTauri car. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what the Mercedes launch is. I mean, here's the thing. I don't get that excited for car launches because it's just delivery. Like, they never show the actual car until you turn up to testing, you know. So it's always a little bit anticlimactic. Everyone thinks they're going to see the sick new design, and oh my goodness, it's just a covered shell. Mr. Business does not improve any positions. I hope not. I have like a 50-50 like 50-50 hope relationship. Ooh, Haas will fall. I think Haas will be bought out by another team, like someone really looking to get into the sport, because I don't see, especially with budget caps, I don't see, yeah, the FIA really like letting it happen. If obviously they won't, but like I think they wouldn't want to reduce the grid size, because Formula 1 is a struggling entity in the fact that there's not much in the way of technology they can really improve on much, because everyone's got this hybrid technology now. There's nothing particularly there, and attracting new teams is well, actually I say it's difficult. It's difficult to attract really, really serious teams. Yeah, this is the thing. It's hard to attract manufacturers, which is who the Formula One really want in the sport. They want manufacturers. They don't want these brilliant race teams like Andretti. And Andretti are an incredible racing team. If you keep up with IMSA or IndyCar, you'll know how good like Andretti, things like that, teams like that. But Formula One doesn't want that because that's not what Formula One is. Frosted Cheese goes up to P2 with a 17.9. But that's the thing, customer teams and privateer teams are not really Formula One. It's having the biggest car brands in the world. Try and find the engineers with the biggest balls, the drivers with the biggest balls, and see just how fast you can push a car. As Jerry Dodge then goes to the top of the timing sheets with a 17.5. Oh, Max has been disqualified. Well, here's the thing. F1 is such a unique form of motorsport. As here we go with Hards then moving up into P5. Formula One is very, very different to the other kind of motorsports that Haas are in, because they are in, NASCAR and spec series that give you the cars, whereas Formula One, you got to build that yourself. And well, no offense, to Gene Haas or the Haas team on any front, but it takes some experience and a half to build a racing car, and not just to build the racing car, but to make that thing fast and competitive consistently as a brand new team is almost impossible. As VC Ryan moves up into P7, and the thing is, Gene hasn't been. He's just kind of there, but he hasn't been like on the ball. Like, I really want to do this. He's just kind of like, yeah, I kind of signed up for it. Let's go with it. That's why I kind of get the vibe from him, and that's why he kind of sacked Gunther, because he doesn't listen. Yeah, honestly, I can see him being there for the spotlight. Formula One does give an intense spotlight. I mean, especially with Drive to Survive. I mean, I could ask Sue across the road, and she'd know about a bit of Formula One because of Drive to Survive. Was that for face crossing the line to start a lap? Gunther's got the experience, but it's not the funding. I feel like it's the resources, because everyone's on a budget cap, but Gene didn't give Gunther the freedom to do Gunther stuff. He didn't give the principal the freedom to make outlandish decisions, and they really shot themselves in the foot with that, because the team that takes the biggest risk will probably get the biggest payout from it. If you choose something insane as your concept because some mad hatter as your team principal said, yeah, let's do this, if that pays off for you, you are going to make a serious amount more money and be seriously more competitive. But that's why I feel like privateers don't necessarily belong in Formula One, because they don't have the money, they don't have the backing. Here we go, foot face to the line, P9 for him so far into Q3, but we've got plenty left to go. And that's the thing, they don't have the desire, the drive to advertise their car brand. They're just kind of there to compete, and I don't think that's quite the spirit of Formula One, because where's the incentive for Haas to develop apart? They're still gonna, they're still gonna get the screen time. They're still gonna get the social media hype. But if Gene can get that without having to spend a lot of money and put a lot of effort in, what's the point? What's the point of putting it in? So what, you do better? And what? We're gonna develop insane technology for our CNC machines. It just doesn't make sense. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense for privateers. But like Aston Martin, it makes good technology for their road cars. It makes good advertising for their road cars. You know, but Haas don't sell road cars. They sell machines. So it's kind of a strange one, really. But let's see. That's Haas on an hour. Right, let's actually stop talking about this and let's focus on the... This is making qualifying interesting now. See? Right, so we've got Jay-Z on a lap, Haas on a lap, Unitos on a lap of sorts, Footface preparing to do a lap, Mr. Business on a lap, Aparo on a lap, Jammy on a lap, and Nidus on a lap as well. So we've got a lot of drivers on these flying laps. Let's see who can get themselves through. Oh, Footface invalidates. Footface invalidates early one. He will not. He might not progress. This could be interesting. Let's see what Mr. Business can do. Only a 10th up at the moment. This is going to put him ahead of Footface. This is going to put Footface out if Mr. Business can secure that 1/10 improvement. Yes, he does. And there goes Footface out in Q2 because of an unfortunate invalidation. Right, let's see who else is in the bottom. As Jammy goes into the top 10. And that's... Oh, I think... Is VC Ryan going to miss the flag? Yes, he is. VC Ryan out of qualifying. Havoc Gamer out of qualifying. Nidus, what can he do? Currently sat in P14. I'm not sure if he's improving. He's got very low ERS, so I doubt he's going to be getting too much of an improvement out of this car. Let's see what he can do. Nidus round the final corner now. Is he going to improve? Is he going to be in Q3? No, he's not. He's 2/10 down. And those are your Q2 eliminated drivers. VC Ryan, Footface, Havoc Gamer, Nidus, and Marks. And the top three from that session: Jammy, Dodge, Sweatbad Flame, and Hards. Very fast. Williams, will they be able to repeat? They've certainly been on the upward trajectory. Let's put it that way. But how far can they go? That's the question. Unfortunately, I don't quite see Williams going all the way back to where they were. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see them maybe get some podiums in the next couple of seasons, or... But the thing is, Williams' facilities are so far lacking from the other teams. That's their problem. And with the cost cap, you can't spend more on your facilities. And Williams almost kind of need, like... It's going to destroy them, but they need 5 seasons of basically barely even having a car. You know, spending like 50 million on the car, and the rest of the budget cap just upgrading their facilities so they've got the potential. I feel like the minds are there. James Vowles has done an incredible job as team principal so far. He's been absolutely fantastic out there in that role, and yeah, it'd be a real shame if they don't, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, they might pull a miracle out. We don't know. But then again, you also need to take a look at the drivers they've got there. You know, Albon and Logan Sargent are not going to win a championship. They just don't quite have that little edge that your Leclercs, your Verstappens, your Russell, your Hamiltons, your Norrises have over a lot of the drivers. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Williams can do though. I've been really enjoying watching them rise back up after seeing them basically fall off a cliff after 2017. They just kind of 2017 was a bit of a mid-year for them, and then 2018 was awful. 2019 was awful. 2020 was slightly less awful. 2021 was slightly less awful. Again, 2022 also slightly less awful, and 2023 actually quite nice. Yeah, Albon has done an incredible job. I think it's pretty obvious for everyone to see. He has just absolutely smashed it in the Williams car. Let's put it that way. There's no way of playing it down or anything. He is right now proved he can perform, but will he be one of those drivers who just can't do it in a top team, and he'll just be getting good results for these midfield guys? You know, some drivers, as I said, they just don't have that sharp edge, you know, to be a top team performer. Right, before Q3 gets started, I've just got to get this just sort something out quickly. I'll be like 2 seconds. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, apologies for that one. Just had to quickly sort something out, but we are back up and running as we stand. Well, I for one am pretty excited about this Q3 session. I'm interested to see who will sit on our pole position come the checkered flag. I think Jamie Dodge is going to be there at the top. He has been incredibly fast so far in qualifying at his home event. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me too much if he does. Well, Haas, surprise, surprise, is out there first and will be setting the first flying laps of Q3, unless that AlphaTauri does. No, it's not. Those are out laps. But of course, predictably, Haas does go to the top of the purple sectors. Everybody on the fresh softs. Max forgetting that we do have qualifying after this. But here we go then. We're coming close to the line for the first driver. That is going to be the McLaren of Haas, who is... has shown some relatively decent pace throughout the qualification sessions. But here we go for Haas. He goes to the top. It will be Jamie Dodge next, who goes even faster, 0.6 of a second up. We then see Jay-Z prepare to cross the line. He goes to P3, 0.7 behind at Haas. We've then got the Alfa Romeo of Sweatback Flame. He goes up into P2, half a second behind his teammate. So we see Luke the Blade move up into P4. The next Red Bull of Jamie Cash coming to the line now. He's got the DRS wide open. He goes into P5 just behind his teammate. Unitos coming across the line next. P6 is the best that he can manage. We then look to Mr. Business, who'll be... Oh, gets a massive slide through turn 16. That's cost him significant time. That's cost him a lot of time. As then we wait for Frosted Cheese to come across the line now. Frosted Cheese puts it into P2, 0.3 of a second back from the current provisional pole position holder, Jamie Dodge, at his home Grand Prix. Wow, that was a good lap from Jamie. I think he's looking pretty safe there for that pole position. Sorry, it's it's the throat. It's really, it's not good. It's that winter time, so it becomes very difficult to talk for prolonged periods. Just gotta get the lubricants down there every now and then. But yeah, good laps from Jammy. He's just been just like a couple of tenths clear of the field, just the entire bit of qualifying. But a good lap in the end for Frosted Cheese, who has stuck it up there in P2 at the moment. Sweatback Flame also not too far behind him. They've got Haas in P4 with a decent effort. Again, not too far behind, but as the time starts to add up, he's 6 tenths back in P4. Luke de Blade another 2 tenths back again, and then it's almost it's 3 tenths before Jammy Cash appears. Unitos with that 18.5, very, very close to Jammy, and does not have too much to go to catch them. Jay-Z, an 18.7, 2 tenths off those guys, and about 1.3 seconds away from Jammy's time. Jammy Dodge's time at the front, and then Mr. Business had that massive snap, so I think he lost a lot of time. Let's put it that way. He certainly lost a lot of time. Well, I think we're going to see Luke the Blade coming out already then. That's interesting from the Red Bull driver. But we've just seen the Haas of Jay-Z out then. Will they be able to do 3 runs? I'm not so sure. But what they are doing is they're getting in that outlap early so they can build an extra, what I like to call a security run. So if you have an accidental skill issue, and just like this, you invalidate your lap, it gives you leeway to go again and actually set that lap time that you want in the end and not miss out because you left it slightly too late. Now, of course, you pay off when the track is at its fastest. You will have slightly higher tyre wear, but to be honest, as long as to actually lap fast, to actually be close to the pole, you have to first cross the line in the designated time period. That's like most of the game, really. So it's very important that they get through on time and do it properly. As we got, who else we got out laps? Oh dear me. I think Jay-Z is actually going to be the first to set the second set of times then. Let's see what the mighty Haas driver can do then. Let's see how much he can improve by ear, and if he perhaps goes for a recharge lap after this one to perhaps cement his position or try and improve just that little bit more. Right then, Jay-Z, give us your best shot. He is currently making his way up to the turn 6 and 7 chicane, close to 3 tenths of a second up for Jay-Z at the moment, and 18.4 will shoot him all the way up to P6. Let's see how much more time he can gain through this lap for the Haas driver, desperate to try and get up further up the order, higher up. He's close to 4 tenths of a second up now. It's going to put him close to Luke the Blade, very close to Luke the Blade. If he continues at this trajectory, I wouldn't be surprised if he overtakes Luke the Blade. Could get very, very close to Haas's first attempt as well for Jay-Z. As now he makes his way through the penultimate set of corners. That penultimate corner comes at you fast, but not quite as fast as this final corner as Jay-Z activates the DRS, comes to the line. And it's P2! Jay-Z, a 1 second improvement. What a lap from Jay-Z. A 17.7, 3 tenths away from the provisional pole position sitter. That was a lap and a half. Luke the Blade manages P4 on his second attempt. Wow, that was a cracker from Jay-Z. I certainly did not see that one coming from the Haas driver. That was a pleasant surprise. Let's put it that way. So Mr. Business will be next to cross the line to set that flying lap time. I'm not sure how much he's improving by. And let's hope it's a lot for, you know, the sake of the competition. We want to see everybody up there fighting, getting very, very close together on the circuit, because that's what's going to make us have a fantastic race now, as we look to see Mr. Business to the line. P5 is the best he can manage. Now he's going to recharge and go again. I know that for a fact. Let's just see how long it takes him to do that. So now we're looking around. Who is on a flyer? We got Jammy Cash on a flyer at the moment. We might hold back to him. Let's check nobody else is on a flyer as well. In fact, Jammy Dodge is on a flyer, and then we will be back to Jammy Cash in a memento. Jammy Dodge then, who currently sits on provisional pole, looking to cement his position. Yes, he does, with a half a tenth improvement. We then look back to Jammy Cash, who currently is down there in P8, will be desperate to improve, needs to find half a second to even jump up one position ahead of Haas. Everybody seemed to improve quite significantly on the early part of the lap. And let's see what Jammy Cash can do now. He comes to the line. The Red Bull driver still remains in P8, does not improve by quite enough. Unitos then just starting his flying lap. Apara is about halfway through a flying lap, and nobody else is on one. So looks like Apara is the furthest along, and then we'll jump back to Unitos as soon as the Williams driver has completed his flying lap then. So Jay-Z's retired. Yes, that is all he can manage for today's session. He makes his way through turn 14 at the moment. Hard on the brakes into turn 15. Get it into second gear. Get the rotation in the car as he now comes around that final corner of turn 16 to try and complete that 5.2 kilometre circuit as quickly as possible. Aparo goes up into P8. And that's the best he's going to manage here. So Mr. Business is indeed going to go again, but we've got to switch back to Unitos, who has put in a purple middle sector. He looks like he can be going pretty fast here. Let's just see how fast the Aston Martin driver can truly go as he makes his way through turn 13 at the moment. And now he's got one more sector to set the quickest lap he possibly can in the Aston Martin. Coming through the penultimate corner of Prost now as he swings it to the right hand side through turn 16. Getting the grip absolutely perfectly predicted, and Unitos to the line goes P2 with a 17.5, a great lap in the end for Unitos. Haas invalidate, and that will be his qualifying over. Blitz also, or Apara, will not get another lap in. Sweatback Flame will, Mr. Business will as well. Jammy will also get another lap in. Right, which one of these guys is furthest along? I believe it is Business. Business, he will be looking to do the business at the moment then. Try and perhaps just get a little improvement. He could, in fact, with just a small improvement, jump up into P3 on the second row of the grid. The McLaren of Hearts beautifully gets out of the way, slams on the brakes, creates a huge cloud of smoke, a suspenseful smoke, let's put it that way, as the DRS is active. And Mr. Business, where can he put this car? It's P6, that's the best he can manage. Sweatbag Flame a 10th up at the moment then. Let's see where this could land him. I think it might keep him in the same position. No, he goes to provisional pole! Sweatbag Flame, what a lap! Jammy, has he got a response? He does! Jammy does move up to provisional pole position ahead of Sweatbag Flame. That one got very, very close at the end. Wow, between the two Alphas. I did not see that one coming from Sweatback Flame. He put in a cracker of a lap at the end, and that sees him up into P2. And the two Alphas will sit on the front row of the grid then, with Unitos on the second row, with Jay-Z. P5 belonging to Frosted Cheese. Luke the Blade takes up P6. P7 belongs to Mr. Business MT, with P8 for Haas, Apara in P9, and Jammy Cash in P10. Wow. What an end to qualifying. Did not quite expect that little inter-team Alfa Romeo battle there. That one kind of came out of the blue there. Wow. That was exciting. And, yeah, well. Bring on the race. That's all I can say from that one. That was a great ending. Right, let's find out where we've been pinged. So Sweatback Flame saying he lost a 10th through the first sector. Ah, that is rather unfortunate for Swedbank. Flame with that 10th. He might have just clinched that pole away from the Aussie. But I'm not too sure he would have done. Um, let's would have to wait and see. Right, let's try and find where we are and what time we are going to be beginning the Q2 race. 8:30 at the moment. We're going to be taking a 6-minute break. So I myself are also going to take just a short break, just to recover myself slightly. So do bear with us, do stick with the stream, and we should be back within about 3 minutes, hopefully. So let's take that break, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes' time before we begin the Australian Grand Prix Round 8 here in XLR Tier 2. Do stay with us. We will be back shortly after a little break. We shall see you soon, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, I forgot to unmute my mic. Fire me, please. Flip's sake, man. Well, we've got 29 laps around the Selwyn Park circuit. And look at the tyres we've got on these cars. Everybody on the medium compound tyres. For Nidus, Max, AY Games on the hards. Falcon going with the majority on the mediums. Rocky deciding to go very different on the softs. And then VC Mike on the hards as well. So, well, let's wait for this formation lap. It's going to be a very, very exciting race, around Albert Park. Let's see what these drivers can do. I was definitely not running particularly late back. Let's see what everybody can do as they make their way into turn one. Let's hope we don't have a car park into that corner. Well, that would be a disaster. Right. Let's get ready to lock in and enjoy this race. Do stick with us for the full 29 laps. I will not be taking breaks during the race, hopefully. Unless there's an emergency situation, at which there will be a long, prolonged break, probably a week. But well, let's get going then. Jammy, swept back, misses his grid slot, unfortunately for him. That is most unfortunate. He will be starting a little further back this time around. He might be a bit vulnerable to Unitos and Jay-Z. You can just see Jammy and then swept back. Look how much further back he is. A bit closer to the front wing of Unitos. So if you sort of compare that, Jay-Z is relatively far, Unitos is relatively close. Right. Not this. I've had this happen to me before. When the lights just don't go out. So, well. Lovely game bug. And since this isn't a Saturday race sponsored by EA, what a terrible game. These guys cannot make a single good game in their whole lives. What is this? Just seriously, like, come on. This has been out for ages. Anyone who saved tyres, ruined because of this crappy glitch in this crappy game that is not able to run anything. We're going to have to restart. Well, it feels good to start another game since oh dear me. Right, let's quit to main menu and then not fun, not fun, not fun, not fun, not fun, not fun, not fun. Alright. Let's do I have grid? Right, you just have to bear with us a second. Alright, I can clip it from the Twitch. Shoot. Hold on, just All right, we're just having some interesting stuff. Right. Can I not clip on this channel? Okay, I can. Right. Let's see just how far back we get a clip. Right. Oh no, I don't have it on stream. The stream would have to end. Ah, that sucks. Oh well, I think Geniusy's got a sword, so. Well. Yeah, never fear Geniusy's here. That's a good saying. Right. Oh, now we wait. And, well, let's wait until we get an invite. Until then, Formula One. I'm certainly excited for the return. I have been relatively... Well, I say I've been bored without it. I haven't. Like, I'm just going to be straight up honest. Oh, my drink. I love a 992 GT3 RS. I'm a real sucker for Porsches. And, yeah. I'd love a GT3 RS. It would just be so nice. One day. One day. Ooh, McLaren Senna. You know what? I like it. I like a good Senna. Ooh, I got invited by Hearts. I would. Senna would be good. Hold on. It would be a brilliant car to have. Ah, bots. Honestly. Right. Right, delete that message. Oh, Polo GTI for your next car. You know what? I literally I passed my driving test on Wednesday, so it's not going to be long before I buy my first car. I don't know what to buy. I'm gonna buy like something disgusting. Like it's gonna be so bad. I don't know what it is gonna be, but I think I'm gonna have to wait till the summer anyway. Because quite frankly, I don't want to buy one and then have to spend £330 to park it at uni. And that's kind of like a good way to have it. Yeah, I'm not really trying to spend parking money for now, but next term we shall see. Yeah, that's the thing. It's insurance. Insurance is awful. The way that the UK does insurance is just terrible. I mean, it is so ridiculously expensive to, be insured on any car. Just because of it, they insure the driver, not the car. It's yeah, very stupid. But what can we do about it? We unfortunately have no choice there. But what we can do is, oh right, I haven't got anything lined up. Actually, I do. Yeah, exactly. It's like I literally just got mine, so my insurance premium is going to be awful. I mean, I know I'm going to get insured on my mum's like fat 7-seater car, so it's like, oh my goodness. hopefully if I take like a couple of years on that, that'll help bring my insurance down massively. But yeah, no, the thing I want to talk about, I was reading about this like monster crocodile around the Cretaceous period when all the T-Rexes were roaming. Oh, I tell you, mate, this thing was massive. It was like the size of I think it was the size of a bus, and it used to prey on like big T-Rexes. And it used to just like wait for them and just jump out of the water and eat like straight up, just gnaw on them. Oh, it was. I saw it. I was like, oh my day, this is sick. Because obviously we had that lovely little chat about crocodiles in Tier 1. But it was. Let me see if I can find. I can't remember what it was called. Let me see. Ancient giant. I don't remember what the name was, but I know it's. I think it's this one. Once we get round to the racing, we'll get serious. But for now, we can just talk about whatever the hell we want. Uh, right, I think it's called. Wait, okay, I gotta pronounce this properly. Sarcassurus, I think is what it's called. Uh, is it was meant to be 9 to 9.5 meters long, up to 4.3 metric tons in weight. Oh my goodness! And it would ambush prey, and prey on large dinos. That's crazy. Oh my goodness, Jamie Cash is gonna get drunk before we even start going. It's a distant relative of the crocodile family. But honestly, like that is mental. Just how big and how heavy it is. It's ridiculous. Could you imagine you get your leg bitten off by one of those? It's a long day for you. It is a long day for you. What other interesting stuff have I seen this week? I wanna be careful because I don't want to go into politics because otherwise, it's otherwise we might get like banned or something, and I don't really want that right now because I want to finish the stream. So, before you know what, next general election I actually get to vote. So I'm probably not going to vote Labour or Conservative. Like, just terrible parties. Let's be honest. None of them are good. Reform UK is the only option. No, we'll see. But on brighter notes, apart from we've discussed crocodiles big as school buses, we've talked a lot about Formula One and cars. Well, I'm excited for Daytona. That's what I'm excited for. Is Daytona and the Rally Monte Carlo that is coming soon. In fact, it's actually the iRacing Daytona 24 going on right now. I don't really know what it currently looks like, but I don't know exactly what that. I don't really watch sim racing. Wait, Cars 4? Is it going to be Cars 4? Wait, is Lightning McQueen going to have babies in this one? Oh, they are working on a Cars 4. Well, it's not much of a kids film then. If it's got if it's jammy, just getting fucking pissed. Oh, I do apologise for the language. I got carried away. Mate, Wikipedia is. Oh, let's look at the box office numbers. So Cars, my favourite one, right, was Cars 2. Cars 2 was easily the best one. Like, honestly, it was just so good. Like, if you didn't enjoy Cars 2, then you need to get a life, like, honestly. But made in North America, made £191 million. That was so funny. Oh wait, AR joining the lobby was so funny because I can't remember were we. I think like it was just such a shock. All I can imagine is Pyro's reaction. Like, how's he joined? He must have joined off Techie, but oh my gosh. Yeah, Cards films worldwide have generated $1.4 billion. That is some serious cash for NASCAR films, that's for sure. The Planes films only did 390. Well, I quite enjoyed the Planes ones. They were good. Right. Kachiga. Chick Hicks. What a driver. Yeah, just don't do an L plan word. That's all I can say. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad we can actually censor L plan now. He's got no he can't speak anymore. You know, I distinctly remember some Disney animation about. It wasn't Bambi, but it was about like some animal, and like they made hounds chase after it. And I remember something about a railway bridge. I'm just going from the deep pocket memories. But that was a good film. Oh, I don't watch films to be honest anymore. I usually just like do stuff in the day and just sleep. Yes, Fox and the Hound. Yes, yeah. Oh, that's a good film. I actually really enjoyed that. I was probably like 6, and I was just basing it off memory. Right, we are just waiting to go. Oh man, some Disney movies are really good, but then there are some that are just abysmal. Like, oh my gosh, some of them are so bad. Especially, I think it's the new ones. Some of like the adult Pinocchio memes are so funny. Like, oh, it's so bad. Like, Pinocchio, it's a weird one. It's a really weird. It's like someone was like really bored and just came up with the most ridiculous idea ever. Like, oh, let's make a boy whose nose extends. Like, you know what? With the Nightmares thing, I distinctly remember that I had a nightmare about a Pinocchio. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Right, I'm gonna stop it there because I don't really want to talk about that because otherwise it's cancelled or something. I don't know, Twitch, TOS, and that. No free speech, but only if you believe one thing. But yeah, well, nah, it's not that deep. Because you know the thing is, right, it get talked about it, and then one thing goes to another, and then the next thing you know, it's a job loss, kicked out of uni, and that's not what I need right now. Let's put it that way. Well, when are we actually starting? Like, what is going on? I need to check Discord messages. What are we doing? Are you readying up? Just trying to figure it out. Pardon me. Right, I need to blow my nose. I need to bring some tissue in here for emergency situations. Right, let's run and get some tissue. Oh, I'm battered. I did deadlifts and legs yesterday and I can't feel my butt or my hamstrings. Not good. When are we actually starting? Like, seriously? I'm ending stream soon. Like, I'm having to munch. Oh, 9 o'clock. No, start now. Right, we'll go at 9. So, yeah, I got this emergency nose. Oh, oh, here we are. Yeah, winter commentating's the worst. So you got a cold and. Well, someone just left the server. Oms. Yo, oh no, no No, I can't make fun of him. No, no. Oh, that's fine. We aren't going to make too much fun of him because we do. Actually, no. Actually, I think no carnage. That is. Yeah, no elimination, no. But someone else is getting eliminated. Let's get that thing straight. We've got a bit of like a sunset now. It's wonderful. Right, let's go over these tyres. In fact, they are the exact same as they were before. Everybody on a set of mediums, medium. Then we got 3 sets of hards. We got another set of mediums from Falcon, another set of softs from Rocky, and then, last but not least, a set of hards on the back of VC Mike, who joined us later on in the session. We should have had enough. I think we had like 21 drivers tick yes for attendance, but I think some people had skill issues or something. I don't know. But someone's DNFing anyway, so it just means that qualifying was less exciting for Q1. Because not quite as some people who wouldn't have got through usually got through, but that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It gives people opportunities to improve, and that's kind of what Tier 2 is all about. But of course, no Geo today. He's always been. He's skipping races. He deserves to get sacked. Right. Let's get ready. VC Mike. Let's hope we don't have another glitch. If we do, I am ending the stream and I'm done and I'm going to bed. But let's hope we don't, because I would like to actually get this race underway. So we've got Fate and Ryan both getting disqualified for missing their grid slots. Absolute numpties. Acting like I wouldn't do the exact same thing. Well, we got a great angle at the start. We're not going to see the leaders, which is like the most important part of this race start, and that's just wonderful. The grid's actually forming up this time, which is a massive positive. So we got 3, 4, 5. It's 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and where we go. It looks like Jammy Dodge has disconnected from the cell. Has he disconnected, reconnected? I'm not too sure. Unitos looks like he's got a great bit of contact with Sweatback Frames. They make their way into turn 1. All the drivers look like they get through. Oh no, into the wall hard. It's Frosted Cheese along with Luke the Blade, the Red Bull and the Williams into the wall hard. Is damage even on? How have they not picked up damage from that? Incredible stuff. As we look further up on the field, everyone's squabbling and vying for positions. There's a hat's going off. That's Marks into the gravel trap there. I don't think damage is on. I think damage is off. Oh, Jay-Z, what have you done? Damage has to be off. There's no way that he survived that crash. As we look for the rest of the field, looks like Footface was going for a move on Rocky. Of course, those fresh soft compound tyres doing a great bit of favours for Rocky's speed at the moment. Then looks like Mr. Business and Jammy Cash also trading position. Mr. Business up one position so far on this first lap. We then turn our attention to look at this Jammy Cash fighting back, one a huge send to the inside, bit of rubbing wheels with Mr. Business, the AlphaTauri versus the Red Bull, but the AlphaTauri just gets that exit good enough to manage to, as Jammy picks up 3 seconds before exceeding track limits. I don't think damage is on. Someone might have to check the lobby settings. We've got Falcon spun round on the third to last, or the penultimate corner actually. Well, we look up then. This fight for the lead is going to be interrupted as we've got Havoc Gamer and Rocky squabbling away. Rocky trying to go round the outside at turn 3. This sort of back end of the pack, squabbling and fighting hardest to the inside. Havoc Gamer thinks about a send on the Alpine. The Aston Martin to Footface go perhaps a little bit deep as he battles with the McLaren of VC Mike, trying to keep him at bay. Mike not qualifying as he steamed around the outside of Footface. I don't know. I can. Oh wait, hold on. It's on. It's actually on. Oh, we got a virtual safety car. How? Damage was on. How did none of them pick up a single bit of damage from that collision? I'm mystified. Just trying to figure out what this VSC is for. I'm wondering if it is for frosted cheese. Yeah, I just have to prove that the damage was on because I myself was rather mystified at how that was a no damage collision, because that was hard side-on impacts into the wall. But yeah, that sounds rather peculiar. Well, damage is clearly on because we've got a few into the pits early on to change front wings. And going, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Gameser and Luke the Blade also into the box. Ah, the virtual safety car was because of Falcon lacking a front wing. He lost that somewhere, so that was peculiar. That was so peculiar how there was no damage from that one. Look, this game's strange again. It's that way, and it's all EA's fault. And we can blame EA. Jay-Z's in P4 and chasing down Unitos. He's got the DRS now. He's trying to think of a move coming into turn 11 and turn 12. Unfortunately, the Chipotle on his car not giving him the rocket powered out the rear that he would have quite hoped for. As he's now looking for space. Sweatback Flame also looking for some space on his teammate. Unitos and Jay-Z going wheel to wheel into turn 13. Ascari, they're almost side by side. Look at Haas making a move and capitalising on Unitos and forcing him into the gravel. Haas gets all loose on the rear end and he actually loses a position to Mr. Business, who is right in the thick of it now. Haas is ghosting a little bit here, and Mr. Business gets contact. He's round. He's into the barriers. Mr. Business into the barriers. That's going to be. I'm not sure if that was any damage. It didn't look like there was any damage. That's so unlucky for Mr. Business. Just tipped into a spin, no fault of his own. Didn't cut across anyone. That's really unfortunate for him. And that's pretty much going to be his race run. As now we see Unitos trying to find some space all around. AY retires from the session. We got another virtual safety car. AY Games is out. Trying to figure out what's happened to him. That's at turn 1 where that's gone down. Yeah, Mr. Business does have damage to his front right end plate. I'm not sure what's happened with AY Games there. Maybe a collision with Gameser? That's what I'm thinking. Gameser? Something. Oh, Marks. Drive through for speeding under VSC. Footface also going slowly as Mr. Business has made his way back ahead of him as we are back to green flag racing. No, sorry, Mr. Business just got a great jump on him. Looks like Games and Falcon making a bit of contact coming down the straight as they make their way into turn 3. That high speed, that slow speed left-hander. Games are of course on the hard compound tyres, is going to be struggling a lot more at this stage of the evening. Mr. Business making his way ahead of the Haas now, who looks actually rather slow coming out of that corner. Mr. Business will be back on a charge, trying to find some extra time because that's so unfortunate for him that he found himself in the wall like that. But he'll be into the pit lane now to change that front wing, as of course he's going to really struggle to drive on that. As oh no, Max picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well, and it kind of just goes from bad to worse for him as AY Games does depart the session, and well, he did retire, so he will certainly not be coming back this weekend. And well, I think it wasn't a good race weekend for AY. Let's put it that way. It was pretty poor. All around qualifying wasn't good. The race wasn't good. It's one to forget for him. I'll be completely honest. Well, we look at this front battle. Sweatback Flame and Jammy Dodge. Sweatback looks to have some really good race pace here and be looking to utilise perhaps some DRS in a lap or so. Havoc Gamer looks like he's just got past VC Mike. Yes, he has. Havoc looks perhaps a little bit loose there on the exit. In fact, he did. And that has allowed VC Mike to get that superior exit speed and go down the inside into the Ascari. Thinking about a switchback was Havoc, but I don't think he quite timed that one right. And that has led to VC Mike taking that final points position off of him. Haas and Jay-Z also switch positions now. These two have certainly come together on I want to say multiple occasions. It wouldn't surprise me. But look at this fight for the lead now. Sweatback Flame manages to just sneak ahead of Jammy Dodge. We sort of missed the end of that overtake watching Haas and Jay-Z. Oh my goodness, do bear with me, sorry, I'm dying. I do apologise if I suddenly go quiet, it's because I'm trying not to die, and that's not particularly something the stream needs to hear, let's put it that way. But yeah, change for the lead then, and Jammy Dodge losing that position to Sweatback Flame. Interesting, Swept looks like he's got some pretty good race pace so far. There it is, it's a 50% ERS difference. That is a lot of ERS, and anyone who plays this game knows how good ERS can be. When you don't have ERS, you're pretty much relatively screwed, I think is the best way to put it. But we're going to stick with these two as they battle down the main straight once again, as Jammy thinks to move around the outside into turn 1, unfortunately not quite able to find the space he so required for said overtake then. Jay-Z also unable to get space. Looks like Rocky and Blitz will, also Rocky and Jammy Cash almost will. I think Jammy, he was right on the grass there as he was kicked up a load of dust. That has put him a little bit further behind now. A little mistake from Jammy Cash. Perhaps it's the alcohol starting to set in now. So he goes wide again. That's a second 3-second time penalty. If memory serves correctly for Jammy Cash. He's now on 6 seconds worth of penalties here on lap 7. Let's see if he can get to 29 seconds by lap 29. I'm sure that'll be interesting. As Haas and Jay-Z are going to switch positions coming into turn 11. We got a yellow flag. Oh, it's Sweatback Flame. He's round. Sweatback's round. He's into the barriers somewhere. I think he's on the exit of turn 12. I'm not sure if there's been a collision between him and Jammy, or Sweatback has just lost that one on his own and found the barriers. Luckily, no safety car or virtual safety car deployed for that one. But that is nasty for Sweatback Flame, who needs to make a very, very early stop here to change that front wing. He's going to have very limited grip as he does pull into the pit lane. Careful he doesn't knock off any tyres. That would be a catastrophe if he did. And well, Jammy inherits the lead, gifted to him. Unless he... Yes, Gio, of course he did. Yeah, swept. He's got a habit of doing this, which is a real shame. When he's got such a good pace, he finds a way to spin and mess it up. And now Jammy can kind of just try and control the pace of where he sits at the moment. Then try and maintain that gap to Jay-Z. Have a good enough buffer to where he can box or Jay-Z can box, and he can just kind of spend an extra lap or an extra lap just deciding what on earth he wants to do. Also can save his ERS a little bit as well now. Make sure that battery is primed when he's going to have to cut through traffic when he makes stops on guys that are on different strategies. He comes up against them, having that extra ERS at that point, and then not completely draining your battery could be, oh my goodness, massively beneficial. Jay-Z, he started actually, I think P4, I want to say. Yeah, he did start P4. He had a good qualifying, very, very good qualifying, and that has allowed him to make his way up into P2. In fact, we've got Jammy Cash into the pit lane. He is going on to soft compound tyres. He is indeed. He's enjoying Australia. He's particularly adept at this circuit. Not quite as much as Mousy in front, who is I think on different kinds of crack. Absolutely flying along. Oh, dearie me. As we've got VC Mike with a 3-second time penalty. This race is making it very, very boring for the viewers. But here we are then, looking at the two Red Bulls getting pretty close together on the circuit. I think they did just switch positions. I think the Blade and Jammy Cash. Despite the fact Jammy is on fresh soft compound tyres, he'll be eager to get ahead of his teammate quickly. Hopefully his teammate puts up very limited resistance. We've got a yellow in sector 3. That's Rocky Round. Rocky Round at the same place. Sweatback Flame was spun and had no front wing. And VC Mike has to take massive avoiding action to just avoid an absolute airplane crash with the Alpine in front. A miracle he didn't hit him. Honestly, that would have been... that would certainly been someone DNF. Yeah, Rocky, perhaps a little bit of a safe rejoin now. I didn't even really realise until he actually did rejoin that could have been a bit unsafe. But then Haas closing in on Jay-Z once again. Jay-Z and Haas, although actually Jay-Z is on the better ERS levels right now. He currently sits on the old 27, whilst Hart sits on 12. As Sweatback Flame sets the fastest lap of the race. Limited consolation for what could have been for him. He's got to make his way back up the order. He's in P10 for now, but there's a lot of work for him to do to catch these guys, especially look at the gaps though. I mean, there's 10 seconds between VC Mike and Aparo there. Just a lot of free space, which is good to bang in the laps again and again and again, but not so good if you want to race someone and have a blast here on F123 in XLR. But then let's get ready for this battle to go down on the main. Oh, Haas! What's happened to Haas? Haas is lagging. He's glitching. What happened to him? Wait. He's still. What? What is going on with Haas? He's having some internet troubles, and that's making it rather difficult to decide where on earth he actually is, if he's getting close to Jay-Z or not. In fact, it's rather impossible to tell exactly where they are on the circuit. You just saw Haas just glitch and bounce around everywhere. That was rather peculiar. Yeah, well, that was very strange. Okay, that's just a little bugger there. That's what, the 12th tonight? So many. It's honestly ridiculous. Just how there can be this many in a game this late on its development cycle. Ah, look who it is! It's Giannuzzi. Joining us here is Jay-Z picks up his first 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Not good for him, as we've got a virtual safety car. A virtual safety car has been deployed for what I'm still trying to figure out. I don't know why that virtual's been deployed, but Jamie's going to use it to dive into the pit lane. What happened, AY? Well, what unfortunately happened there is you took an early DNF, an early bath, and well, this virtual safety car is causing a bit of a frenzy down in the pit lane. Foot face demolished you when you spun. It's a bit of a... Oh, shoot, I can't do anything. Oh my goodness, VC Ryan doesn't pit under the virtual safety car. That's interesting for VC Ryan, because he is not in a position to stay out. Like, he's not on hards. That's a shame. Well, we're back to green flag racing then. And, well, the top three managed to make stops and get out in front of the rest of the pack. But Unitos downwards did not. And they'll be stuck behind VC Ryan. Behind me. VC Mike, a couple of soft runners. Just a miscellaneous arrangement of different drivers who are up and down the grid during this race. I want to point out one interesting fact here. Jay-Z has closed in massively to Jamie Dodge, sorry, in front. I swear, these two need to change their names, because I just keep calling them Jamie, because it's quick and easy, but otherwise I'm going to get them mixed up. Right, to be honest, we could do with a safety car right now, because I rather need to use the toilet. So VC Ryan then defending rather hard from Unitos behind, but I don't think it's going to be quite much of an effort as Unitos goes round the outside and it makes that move work. I think we just had a disconnect from Marks. I'm sure we will have Giannuzzi sent him an invite. He is in the lobby now, so my goodness. Ugh, sorry guys, I do apologise, I'm trying to not die midway through this, but yeah, Jamie Dodge, sorry, really struggling here. Look at Jay-Z, he's going to go down the inside into turn 11, yes he is. Jay-Z takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. Jamie, I'm not sure what's going on with him now, but he's under pressure from hards, even from behind the McLaren, desperate to try and find a way past. Unfortunately isn't able to into Ascari of turn 13, but Jay-Z is in the lead. Where have I don't know if we've ever seen this here in XLR, but good old Jay-Z. Let's see how long he can hold this on for, and let's see if he can take this to the checkered flag. It is now pretty much a straight fight. Oh, Gio. Right, who else just pitted? VC Ryan. After making a nice aggressive move, he decides to make the box his home. Right, just trying to see where else the fights are on the circuit. It's they are few and far between here, but I think this leading fight is pretty much the best one we've got at the moment, the closest one certainly. 3 cars all, within a second of each other is pretty good so far. Let's see who can come out on top. Strategically, they're all very equal. Jay-Z's already going defensive down this little snaky straight is what I like to call it, and look at that, Jamie Dodge already up the inside. Is Haas going to get that move done into turn 11? He almost thinks about it, but Jay-Z just chops him up with enough space to make sure that they both get through in time. Unfortunately, Jay-Z loses that lead. I think, oh my goodness, there's straight line speed on the Alfa Romeo in front. I think he might have decided to actually use some of that ERS to get back past, and what Jay-Z can't afford is to now drop outside of the DRS in front, because that's kind of what's going to keep him in the fray and keep him comfortably ahead of Hards. And we'll have to see how this one plays out throughout the course of the race. I feel like I just cannot cannot leave this seat. As almost anything it seems like could happen now between the front three. They are the only three battling anywhere on the circuit. In fact, Swagback Flames actually got into the DRS of Aparo now, so that will only be a couple of laps before that amalgamates into some sort of fight. But it looks like Falcon is going to be lapped here on lap 15. He has got Jammy Dodge and his merry band of drivers just behind him. In fact, Jay-Z much closer this time around with the DRS coming into turn 11. He thinks to stay behind for this particular attempt, perhaps taking some time to save some DRS. That's not going to help him running wide and taking a warning like that, especially when he's already on 3 seconds worth of time penalty. He's got to be extra careful, extra cautious, because if he loses this on time penalties, that's what's going to hurt the most for him. You know, it's your driving was good and you were so fast, but you just couldn't keep it within the white lines, and that's why you haven't won, and that's just a horrible feeling. You know, and that's something that Jay-Z will be looking to avoid. But as we enter another lap here, actually a bit of a gap has formed between Jay-Z and Hard. It's not much. It's very similar to the gap right at the front of the field. It's slight fluctuations with a more defined emphasis, I think, on that front gap, as that is continually coming down all the time. Falcon's retired from the session, and we do have a safety car. The Ferrari has crashed. Let's try and find... Can we find... Oh, yes, we can get on board with Hard. That is just... I think it was just coming out of this particular corner. That is turn 5. That's Whiteford. Oh, wow. This changes everything. Do the guys box for a set of... For a set of what, though? That's the question. A safety car now for them is not great. But it's great for me because I can go to the lavatory. Ooh! Ooh! This could be disastrous. No! The top 3, no! No boxy, no boxy! Oh, this could be bad. This could be real bad. Because those hards, well, yes, they're going to go to the end. They're not going to be anywhere near as good as those mediums. Yeah, indeed, just as you say, Carl, sitting ducks, they're finished. Oh, no, lads. What are we doing out front? Did they, by any chance, did they miss the pit lane entry? Like, they were slightly too far forward. I don't imagine that they were. No, that's rather peculiar. Hopefully safety car will be in very shortly then, I think, is what I would like to see. I would like to see that safety car pulling in. Let's see. When it does pull in, we are on lap 18, about 10 laps to go. Right, let's... are we going to get in this lap? Yeah, we are. We definitely are. We're going to be getting that safety car in at the end of this lap then. Let us wait and see and how this plays out for the top three. Do they have enough pace to remain ahead the rest of these guys? This is the question. Fun fact, my friend almost got disowned by his father for not winning a foot race. Let's go racing here in XLR. Let's get ready to restart this Australian Grand Prix. And it's going to be Jammy Dodge, vulnerable on a set of older hard tyres, that will lead the pack. He's got two fellow hard users behind. Rest, mediums and softs. Softs will be boxing at some point across the lap. Haas seems to have backed up the pack rather a lot behind him. Looks like he's going to try and get an almighty jump on the front too. I don't quite think his tactic has worked. And no, it hasn't, as everyone goes through on a single file line. Looks like Blitz and Sweatback Flame slightly cuts the corner. We got a yellow flag in the background. I think there might... is there anyone around? I don't think so. But drivers all over the circuit, desperate to try and find space and room on the circuit as Jammy Cash is on the inside of Aparo now, making that move work. Footface ahead of Frosted Cheese as well. Rocky now moving ahead of Havoc, gaming into the points. Luke the Blade also making mincemeat of Havoc, who unfortunately is losing position after position in this off this safety car restart. Not a good start for the Ferrari driver. I think also VC Ryan perhaps struggling just a little bit as well. Footface is in P14, but now Frosted Cheese storms around the outside to make that move work on the Aston Martin driver. Better straight line speed all around, although Footface is going to be fighting this one into turn 11. He's still going to be there on the inside. Footface jumps all over the curbs, had nowhere to go, and unfortunately loses out that position. Mr. Business battling away with Aparo now. Aparo really not doing so well off this restart, losing quite a few positions, as now Mr. Business, who is on the soft compound tyres and will probably have to box at some point. Perhaps he's banking on another safety car to get onto some medium tyres. As well, we look to see how long these hard runners can last. Unitos already thinking about a move on hard, unfortunately unable to do so through onto lap 20. Very few laps to go in this race now. The time is starting to tick, and the front and nobody at the front is ready, and there's made a contact, and Haas had sent him to a bit of a half spin from Unitos, and I think Unitos was just too ambitious, and Haas falls back in the pack already, and he'll just start to sink like a stone from here. VC Mike always forcing Jammy Cash out and wide onto the gravel there. VC Mike will not be... he's getting his elbows out, that's for sure. But Unitos, that could have been a move that maybe gives him a penalty, because that could count as a push to pass, with that contact just forcing the other driver completely off his line. As Jammy Cash has contact, there's contact more between Mr. Business, who gets a poor exit, and Blitz is into the barriers. He's into the barriers on the exit at turn 12. We got a yellow flag, of course, for this situation here. In fact, Makes has also made that one into a yellow flag on the entry this time, rather than the exit. And there's been more contact, Footface involved. Blitz also round again. It just goes from bad to worse for the Williams driver, who finds himself around once again. again. And now we head to this front where DRS is now available. Unitos inside of the DRS of Jay-Z, who currently presides in P2, struggling with the pace on those hard compound tyres. This time, Unitos decides on the outside line. Jay-Z's got no defence. He's just got no grip coming out of the corners compared to those medium tyres. And he unfortunately drops down into P3. This is not good for Jay-Z. And this is really not looking good for Jamie Dodge out front, who is pushing hard. Close almost has got that gap to outside of the 1 second as Jamie Cash now picks up that 3 second penalty. A swept back flame storms around the outside of Jay-Z with some DRS assistance and manages to make that move work, almost work actually. Jay-Z's got the DRS himself as they go wheel to wheel into turn 11 with Sweatback making that move very nicely, and I look relatively comfortable for Sweatback Flame, although he had to put some effort into it, and that's hard. Oh, what's going on here? A huge squabble. 5 or 6 cars struggling for space and time on the circuit. There's contact. There's a bit of contact as Mr. Business, and there's someone in the gravel trap. That's VC Mike. VC Mike in the gravel trap there, as they're all struggling for space and grip all around the circuit. It's almost like bumper cars out there between these guys. There's like 6 cars involved in this almighty scrap. Mr. Business right in the midst of it. So too are the 2 Red Bull drivers as they all file their way, almost 3 wide as they make their way down into turn 1. Almost a spin. Oh my goodness, for Jamie Cash. And that's Rocky on the inside on the grass. He's lost a few positions there. Cars absolutely sending it into the corner, struggling to find space, grip, anything on the circuit. Mr. Business trying to find his way around the outside of Jamie Cash, who I think has just sent one to the inside and makes that move work. Mr. Business now has to fend off drivers from behind. Luke the Blade makes his way through ahead of Rocky, as there is cars and chaos absolutely everywhere on this racing circuit right now. My goodness, what is happening? Haas, I think, has had another poor exit, and he's dropped outside the points. The Alpine cars even got ahead of him. He's now got his teammate VC Mike, who was pushed right into the gravel trap just a couple of laps ago, and now trying to find space. I'm trying to go round the outside. The 2 McLarens wheel to wheel. One has to jump over the curb ever so slightly. We look further up for Mr. Business, Luke the Blade, and Jamie Cash. The 2 Red Bulls get it fighting hard, and we got a safety car, a late safety car. For what exactly? We'll find out. I'm not sure why we've got that safety car. Ooh. Jamie Cash pitting. Nobody else pitted. Nobody else boxed. So I'm trying to figure out why we got that safety car. I'm wondering if it's a foot face, no front wing situation that has caused this safety car. I think it has. So he's lost his front wing, and that's caused us to, unfortunately, have this safety car. Well, what this does benefit is Jamie Cash. Everybody else decided to stay out. That's very interesting, that nobody made that decision to box. Wow. It's been very, very interesting so far this race. There's just been action all over the circuit. Wow. Let's calm down the senses a bit. And let's get ready to rumble for what is going to be a final few lap shootouts. It is certainly going to be exciting. Do not go anywhere. Please do stick around to the end. This is going to get spicy here today. And if anyone does like to follow IMSA, the the Sport Pilot Challenge series kicked off today. That consists of LMP3 and GT4 cars. In fact, the new Mustang GT4 proving its worth, and they took the win. Apparently their straight line speed is scary. I'll have to watch the replay of that one. But if that's the case, the GT3 Mustang could be in, honestly, out of this world, and well, that would just be incredible, wouldn't it? Right. Let's start focusing back in on this race. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap, so we're going to have four laps, yes. So we're going to have lap 25, 26, 27, 28 and 29. We're going to have 5 laps left, sorry. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just going to be so hard for these guys. Jammy Cash could be in a real good position here, but it just depends, because there's quite a few laps left, and if there's some incidents out front that help him carve out the traffic, Jammy Cash, we could see him jump up the order quite significantly. And one thing that's been hurt Jay-Z quite a lot is these late penalties. What the earth is going on? These is that penalty, and with these late safety cars, he's just, the gaps that he has built are just not there anymore, and that is really, really, really unfortunate for him. But hey, that's just the luck of the draw. Right, let's move to the front of the field, where Jammy Dodge will lead yet another safety car restart. Unitos right behind him this time. When does he decide to bolt? Oh, yeah, now he goes. He goes now. I'm not sure if that was a good enough launch for him. Sweatback Flame certainly got a fantastic little launch off the line. Always thinks about a move into turn 1. Looking at further back, though, Haas is going for overtakes into the first corner of the racing circuit, making that move on VC Ryan very nicely. Jammy Cash on the fresh soft compound tyres also started to make progress, and right on the back of this pack already. Down the inside of VC Ryan, superior grip, superior braking. He's going to try and send this one round the outside through this tight and twisty section of the circuit. Keeps it nicely within the track limits, and that's a good overtake. A bit of banging and bumping as Frosted Cheese always forces his way right past the Mercedes driver, and that's 3 of the soft runners. VC Mike also up there as well. 3 of these fresh soft compound tyre runners through the first set of drivers already. I think we've got a spin in the background for the Alpine. That's most unfortunate for him, as they're all single file. Look at Jammy Cash on the back of Haas. Haas on such old tyres, unable to do anything to defend, but Jammy unfortunately unable to get past on this occasion. He's going to have to wait for the DRS to be active. Yeah, indeed, no, he's not. He goes right down the inside. He's going to make a double overtake on his teammate as well. A double move in one corner. Turn 13 Ascari. What's an overtake from Jammy Cash? That was a move and a half from him. He's now right on the back of the Alpha Tower, Mr. Business, carving through this field like a knife through butter. Nothing seems to be able to stop the Red Bull now, who already is ahead of Mr. Business before they even reach the braking zones. Looks like Haas is round at the final corner. Not sure what's happened there. Jammy Cash already right on the back of Jay-Z already now, although he does have some penalties to his name that could impact the results later on. Jammy is going to be aggressive. He's going to do everything in his power to try and get this move done. And we got yellows all over the circuit. I think drivers are spinning and colliding at the back, but it's too exciting at the front to miss what is happening, as it's action-packed all around here. It's not going to be long before DRS is enabled for the final few laps of the race. We're going to switch just to the very, very front of the field with Jammy Dodge and Sweatback Flame. The battle that was originally at the start of this Grand Prix has returned back to us. But look at Jammy Cash into turn 11 ahead of Jay-Z now, and that forces Jay-Z down into, but look at that, 9 seconds worth of penalties he's not going to get. He's not going to win, that's for sure. Look at that, Mr. Business on the inside of Jay-Z is, oh, there's contact. Frosted Cheese almost sent into the barriers from Jay-Z. That was peculiar levels of contact there. Honestly, I'm not really sure who to blame there, because it kind of just looked like it happened. There's no real way to describe it. But look at that, swept back flame right on the back of Jamie Dodge coming into turn 1, unable to make that overtake, but there is going to be DRS next time around as Jay-Z is sinking further and further back in this field, losing another place to Frosted Cheese now. But it's going to be a sort of idea of where rather than when for Jamie Dodge and Sweatback Flame. In fact, look at Jamie Cash already overtaking Unitos. Jamie Cash is on an almighty charge in this latter stages of this Grand Prix, but these penalties are going to really hold him back, I think, when it does come down to flying that checkered flag at the end. Well, of course the checkered flag comes out at the end, but here we go now. This could be a battle for the lead and for the win of the race. Jamie Dodge on the inside, swept back Flame into turn 11, unable to find any space. Jamie defends wonderfully, but he's got to do this for so many more laps. It's going to be unsustainable for him. And look at Jamie Cash thinking about trying to find an overtake. Instead, swept back on the outside. He stalls around the outside. He gets loose, does Jamie Dodge, and Jamie Cash is ahead of him now. The Williams and the AlphaTauri also scrolling almost very, very wide for Mr. Business as they make their way through turn 14 into turn 15. Oh, Jamie Dodge, that was so unfortunate. He's, you know, well, this is the thing. Once it happens, everyone starts to get eaten up. And look at Jamie Cash ahead of Sweatback Flame. But if I'm Sweatback, I'm not too concerned about Jamie Cash because he does have 9 seconds worth of time penalties as Luke the Blade retires. Will not get a safety car on the penultimate lap of the race though. So Luke the Blade out of the race in the Red Bull, and that's unfortunate for Red Bull when it does come down to the Constructors' Championship, of course. What Sweatback needs to be careful of is, first of all, making a mistake on his own. Second of all, making a mistake losing that place to Unitos behind, which would effectively hand the Alfa Romeo the victory. But look at this, Sweatback Flame isn't hanging around. He's already ahead of Jamie Cash before they even reach turn 11. He's fighting this one like his life depends on it. He's so desperate for this win after he made a big mistake early on in the race. Luke the Blade, I don't think too happy with the circumstances that he DNF'd in, which is completely understandable this late on. Oh, an almighty collision! Foot face out. Havoc game of massive damage. I'm not sure what's happened. We just flicked back to this incident and a huge shower of carbon fibre shards all over the racing circuit. Oh my goodness, what is happening in these latter stages? It's like real life. It's chaos all over the circuit. It's impossible to look at everywhere at once, and we're going to focus on this lead because that's where the clean fighting is, and that's what makes the great content. Although yes, crashes are wonderful as well. So Havoc Gamer pulls into the pit lane, then Frosted Cheese trading places with Unitos. Havoc retires very late on, so that means Footface was not going to score points yet again. That means no Fredo for him, as we now are on this final lap of the race. And look at Frosted Cheese. I think he's got a fantastic run on Jamie Cash. He's already up the inside and has made that move work on the Red Bull driver. Now the DRS is active. Sweatback Flame swoops into the distance here. There's still hope for Unitos to miss the business without penalties to try and get on this podium. They've just got to be careful they don't get eliminated. Oh, into the gravel. Oh, a huge incident. Another massive crash on the exit of turn 12. Frosted Cheese is turned round, spun almost 2 to 3 times in a pirouetting motion, and there's cars everywhere. Rocky's in the barriers now, but after the end of a chaotic and infatuating race, one man has come back from a crash at the start. Sweatback Flame wins the Australian Grand Prix. What a drive, what a win. Unitos P2, Mr. Business P3, Jamie Dodge in P4, Jay-Z finishes out in P5, Rocky in P6, Jamie Cash in P8 now. VC Ryan looks like he's finished in P9, Frosted Cheese in P10 with no front wing, VC Mike with no front wing in P11, Hards in P12, and the Alpine is going to finish in P13 with the Haas rounding out the order. Wow, what an intense ending to that race. And driver of the day today has to go to Sweatback Flame. The way he came back from that collision at the end was just wonderful. He didn't give up, he kept going. What a drive. Wow, what was going on at the end? That's a tier 2 chaos you come here for. Wow, my goodness. I hope my neighbours are not trying to sleep because that was very shouty. Oh my gosh. Well, I want to say a massive thank you for everybody to for everybody for watching today's stream. Wow, what a race and what a finish. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I have. And well, I will unfortunately not see you guys tomorrow for Tier 1, but I hope to catch you in for round 9 next week. Will I be here next weekend? Let me check. I can quickly check if I'll catch you guys next weekend. If not, I will see you at some point. Yeah, I'll catch you next weekend for Tier 1 for sure. But yeah, well, a massive thank you everybody for watching today's stream. Thank you for putting up with my illness thing. Well, have a great rest of your evening, guys. Have a great rest of your week, and I hope to see you next week for round 9 in both series. Of course, we do have Tier 1 tomorrow. Be sure to tune into that if you'd like to see slightly less bumper cars and more wheel-to-wheel racing. A big thanks to everybody for watching today's stream. I've been Solid Elite, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening and week. If I don't see you, then have a great rest of your week, guys. Good night.